The sun blazed unforgivingly, its rays searing the barren landscape. Sweat streamed down Sisyphus' brow, his muscles tensed in anticipation. With a deep, resounding grunt, he heaved the colossal boulder upwards, the immense weight pushing against every fiber of his being. How did one man find himself in an endless struggle, pushing a relentless rock up a hill only to watch it roll back down? The punishment seemed simple, almost trivial to an outsider's gaze. Yet beneath the surface, it represented a profound philosophical enigma. The boulder, not just a piece of earth, but a weighty emblem of life's persistent challenges, burdens, and disappointments. Is there a greater torment than hope unfulfilled? Sisyphus might have mused. Yet every time the stone descended, he pursued it over and over. Was it madness? Or was there a deeper revelation buried within his seemingly futile endeavor? To push a rock ceaselessly, to build no monuments or legacies, what might that feel like, one might ask? It's an endeavor that mirrors the repetitive monotony many face in their own lives. Waking up, working, sleeping, rinse and repeat. Like Sisyphus, we too bear our burdens, though not always in the form of physical rocks. Yet what if in that repetition a profound truth lay hidden? The French philosopher Albert Camus once wrote, "The struggle itself toward the heights is enough to fill a man's heart. One must imagine Sisyphus happy." An unexpected twist, isn't it? That in the very act of struggling, one might find a semblance of joy. Why? It's in our nature to yearn for purpose, to find meaning even in adversity. The weight of the boulder, synonymous with life's challenges, was not just a curse, but a revelation. It unveiled the raw essence of human spirit and resilience. What if Sisyphus, in his infinite loop, discovered a potent truth? That it's not the rock nor the hill that matters, but the act itself. The choice to push, even when faced with insurmountable odds, illuminates a courage that's intrinsically human. Do we not all push our boulders every single day? Someone may reflect. Some push boulders of regret, others of unfulfilled desires, and some the weight of existential ennui. Amidst this contemplation, one finds themselves at a crossroads, to resign to despair, viewing life as a series of unending tragedies, or to embrace the struggle, finding solace in the very act of living. Perhaps the key is not to eliminate the boulder, but to change our relationship with it, to see it not as a curse, but as a companion. For in its weight we find resistance, and in resistance, growth. Is not life a series of highs and lows, crests and troughs? Sisyphus might have pondered. In his eternal endeavor, did he lament at the sight of the descending rock? Or did he find a perverse joy, knowing that with every descent came another ascent, another chance at redemption? In the repeated rhythm of Sisyphus's toil, there lie moments often overlooked, moments where he might have closed his eyes and let his senses, other than sight, feel the world around him. Every textured crevice of the rock, the shifting sands beneath his feet, the whisper of the wind against his ear, each mundane detail might have been a symphony of sensations to him. Imagine Sisyphus pausing his seemingly endless task, touching the boulder not as a burden but as a blind man does, tracing stories, feeling emotions, seeking narratives in the cold, hard surface. For him, each grain on that boulder might have carried a tale, each groove a silent testament to time. How often do we, amidst our own boulders of life, forget to pause and appreciate the intricacies? The subtle nuances that lend color to our black and white world, the chirping of birds we take for granted, the gentle rustling of leaves, the touch of a loved one, mundanities that, if snatched away, would render our world silent and bereft. It's a profound realization. The things we overlook, if lost, hold the power to reshape our entire existence. What if Sisyphus derived his strength not just from the act of pushing, but from these moments of intimate connection with the world around him? By grounding himself in the present, embracing every sensation, every sound, every touch, he might have found a reservoir of resilience. There's a heart-wrenching beauty in this perspective, in recognizing that our strength isn't derived merely from overcoming challenges, but also from cherishing the everyday miracles that stitch the fabric of our existence. It reminds us that in gratitude for the mundane, in deep appreciation for what we often disregard, lies an uncharted universe of joy and power. It's in these quiet moments of reflection and connection that we find our purpose and, paradoxically, our greatest strength. The renowned psychiatrist Viktor Frankl was quoted saying, "Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom." In the relentless cycle of Sisyphus pushing his boulder, each fall represents a stimulus. But it's the pause, the decision to persist, where he finds power and freedom. This mirrors Frankl's insight. Sisyphus, despite the unending struggle, chooses to press on. His tale reminds us that amidst life's absurdities, within those pauses before our actions, lies the essence of human strength and autonomy. It's not just about confronting burdens, but seizing them as opportunities for growth. Even in repetitive tasks, even when chained by fate, our choices define us, granting resilience, purpose, and freedom. Within the tapestry of Greek myth, the audacity of Sisyphus shines with a unique luster. Not once but twice he danced on the razor-thin line between life and death, outwitting even the gods themselves. It takes a particular kind of individual to chain Thanatos, the very embodiment of death. Think about it. How many of us would dare to challenge the inexorable end that awaits us all? Sisyphus did. But why? His actions reveal an astute, agile mind, yes, but more poignantly, they show an aversion to accepting what's preordained. Here we encounter a rich irony. In his quest to escape the jaws of fate, Sisyphus was eventually handed an even harsher eternal punishment. But what if we pivot our perspective slightly? What if, instead of seeing his actions as mere avoidance, we see them as a celebration of life's moments, no matter how fleeting? Consider his complaint about not receiving a proper burial from his wife. This wasn't just a sly trick to escape the underworld, but perhaps an acknowledgement of the human need for rituals, for closure, for one last glance at the sunlit world. It raises the question, how often do we truly value the ceremonies and traditions that mark our journeys through life? Sisyphus challenges us to examine our own lives. How do we confront our inevitable end? Do we meekly accept our fate or rage against the dying of the light? And if given the chance, would we, like Sisyphus, use our wits to steal a few more moments above ground? But more critically, what do we do with the time we have? Is it enough to merely evade fate, or should we strive to leave indelible marks, however fleeting? At the crossroads of myth and reality, Sisyphus beckons us to ponder, what are we willing to risk to truly savor the essence of life? And in doing so, do we end up dancing with destiny itself? In our own lives, weighed down by anxieties, responsibilities, and societal expectations, we might feel the gravitational pull of our metaphorical boulders. Yet it's the choice to rise, to push, and to endeavor that grants life its richness. As the sun set, casting an amber hue over the landscape, Sisyphus paused. For a moment, the weight of the boulder seemed lighter. In its shadows, he saw not just a rock, but a testament to human spirit and tenacity. In the end, isn't that what life offers? A dance between pain and pleasure, challenges and triumphs. The narrative of Sisyphus serves as a stark reminder. It's not the destination, but the journey that carves our essence. And as the boulder rolls down again, one can almost hear Sisyphus's whisper in the wind, once more, with feeling. And in that lies the crux of existence, pushing forward not in spite of the weight, but because of it. If this narrative resonated with you, do support us. Hit that like button, drop a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe. Thank you for staying with us to the end. See you in the next video on Plaid Chronicles.